5:30 by my watch. Oh, okay. No problem.
I have to work 2 laptops.
Okay. Now that the technical difficulties are out of the way, I'll go ahead and call this June 22nd, 2017 meeting of the Carson City Library Board of Trustees to order. And we can proceed with the roll call.
Chairperson Hayes.
Present?
Vice Chair Solinger.
Here.
Trustee Liverati.
Here.
Trustee Lawn.
Here.
Trustee Patton.
Here.
A quorum's present.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item 2, public comment. If any members of the public wish to address the library board, now would be the time. Seeing none, moving on to item 3, approval of the minutes of the previous meeting. Has everybody had time to review the minutes, and were there any questions, comments, concerns, or quandaries?
I did not see anything that needed to be corrected or added.
Okay. All right, if
Mr.
there's-
Chair,
Okay.
just real quick, just for the record, to make sure that everyone knows for the record that the date of the minutes are May 25th, 2017. It is in the title, but it's not in the main bolded part, so so the record is clear.
Okay.
Thanks. That's it.
There are two. Yeah.
Oh.
I'll make a motion to accept. Make a motion to accept the minutes as submitted.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
All right. With motion and a second, those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Moving on to item 4, the Friends of the Carson City Library report.
The report is in the packet. I have nothing to add, except I just passed out flyers to everybody reminding you of our 2 fundraisers coming up. July 4th food truck event in the parking lot of the library. Parking, you can park in the bookstore parking lot or in the Smith's parking lot. Should have a great view of the fireworks, and the DJ is piping in the music, so we'll get the same benefits of those that are in the crowd in the park. The other one is baseball tickets to see a Reno Aces game on August 6th, but we have to have all of our tickets sold by July 24th, so if you're interested in those, you can get them at the bookstore or online.
Excellent, thank you very much. Moving on, we're taking the youth liaison report at this point. Do we have a youth liaison to report?
We do not have someone here tonight.
Okay. In that case, moving on to item 5, the introduction of the EDGE initiative.
Yes, so what you have you have the, our slides in the packet, but I have the PowerPoint that I'll be projecting. We wanted to introduce the EDGE initiative for libraries to the library board. We left it as an action item in case there was anything that their comments besides making it just informational, but there's not necessarily action that will need to be taken. EDGE is a program that has been provided to every public library in Nevada through the Nevada State Library and Archives. They have set up access to the EDGE initiative, and I'm going to go through a few things here, but essentially it is a nationwide technology-based strategy and planning tool that they have made available to us. And it's made available to public libraries. This has been in development, and then it was rolled out through the Urban Library Council. So it was looked at from the beginning to be a national benchmark program for libraries to use to see where they are within the benchmarks that they have, and then to be able to work from there to use the information to better serve their community. So they have 3 basic tenets: to innovate, transform, and we'll start here. As it says, it is the first set of national benchmarks. And the way it's been developed, it is available not only for urban libraries, which was the starter of it. It has been set up also to be able to be rolled out to any public library, no matter what the size. What they have are 11 different benchmarks in 3 areas. The areas are community value, engaging the community, and organizational management. And as it says, it's an assessment and planning tool, and we're going to use it at the library to get a baseline for where we are now and go through the whole program so we can proceed with the information, and you'll see some of the cool things we can do. We did get a start on the program at our last staff development meeting, went over the basics of it with staff, and then had them work through the first section on the community value to see what their understanding of where we are at this point. But we're going to take a group, go through all the questions, and then work through what the whole program of EDGE has available to us. So as you see there, it does say it has the library services against national standards. What we can do is also compare to libraries that are similar to us, whether similar in size of operation, similar in population. So there's a number of ways we can utilize this and leverage it to help look at what we have and where we are with our community. What is a very exciting part is when they developed this, it was developed in order to be a great communication tool. And it's to all levels of stakeholders, not only those that, like you as the Board of Trustees, also the Board of Supervisors, city managers, taking it there, but also to communicate out to the community. So we're really looking forward to some exciting things to be able to do that. And as it says, this makes it then a community-based development. The program as it has, you can see where we can look at very specifically some of the critical areas that are important to communities and important in libraries for their services: workforce development, access to legal and e-government resources, education, lifelong learning, health and wellness. And as you look at those, you realize so much information now is just in electronic format or digital format. So those are the areas that they have a strong focus. And it's looking to improve the quality of life by making access improved for the community, and then helping facilitate open access with improved services. The toolkit is one of the things we'll be going through. You can see some of the same things we were just talking about: the benchmarks, the actual assessment, the online questions that we will be going through. And beyond that, we said it has very powerful information. It has a lot of resources to use as you are looking at your own assessment. Gives you community engagement tools, as I mentioned, that you have templates. You have a number of formats in how to communicate your story to the different levels of your stakeholders. Training, and actually there are webinars and some great information so we can not only learn from other libraries that have engaged in this, but look at ways that the information in their training can help us. And then, as I mentioned, the peer comparison tools. So this is going to be a multi-month process, and we're going to keep you apprised of the things that we're going to be, as we go through each of the sections. And there are 11 benchmarks, but within each benchmark there are multiple questions in order to answer to see where you fall into that. And you will find that in your packets, where there is one section, the community value section. Yes, that's the one. In orange. That's their colors, you can see, orange for EDGE. And you get a sense of the types of things that we'll be looking at when we assess ourselves. So actually, I'm going to see if I can pop out of here. There's a couple of really good, let's see if I can get back to that. I wanted to share a couple of the stories that have come out so far with the EDGE program, and let's see if it's going to cooperate.
And then just real quick while that's opening up,
Yeah.
is EDGE an anagram for
No, it's a term.
just an acronym? Sorry.
It's not, yeah, anagrams are good too, but no.
Thank you.
It is, itself is not, it's just a title that they chose.
Okay.
A number of years ago. Well, I've got that as well. And this, actually, so far, this time, we are doing way better. And if it won't open, I will send the links to you. What is powerful about the couple items that I was hoping to show are through one library, like in El Paso, we have the interview with the library director and then with the city manager, and how they viewed, from both sides, how they viewed the information that they were able to get from there. And, well, that's not helping. Let me try a different one, just in case. And then the third one was another city manager of a town of Skokie, Illinois, which size-wise is a little closer to us than El Paso. But again, it's the city manager and how they saw the value of the tool. I'm going to try one more thing and see if maybe.
You connected to CC Guest or
Yeah.
Carson City?
See, yeah, I was connected. That's, I did try to test these out, but, I'll add a copy there. No, that didn't. Well, let me try just. Might be a little slow. Are there any other questions? I'll see if I can bring this up. Otherwise, I will send the links to you so you can see them. And we might be able to get something here. Well, they are potentially here. I think I'd rather not. Every now and then, I guess guest is. We had actually some.
Are you on the employee? You can
I-
get into Carson employee.
I don't have that one. Let me see if.
Go to your little, yeah, let's see where you are.
I'm on just CC guest.
Try employee.
Okay.
Yeah, the guest one is like molasses.
Yeah.
I don't have the authorization. Does anyone?
It's the same login as the computer login.
Just same
Just like
login.
whatever you use to log into your.
Oh, this is
computer.
mine. My personal. Oh, it's.
Yeah, just log in.
Yeah, just your login like onto your work computer.
Okay.
You may have to do like CCC / or something. Your username, whatever's for the Carson.
No, just capital D and then capital B.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Maybe.
Where our connection
Oh.
Not work.
is. You know what? It could very well be that it's down.
And we had actually last Thursday, we had some severe issues. We were here as part of the joint meeting for the Board of Supervisors and the school board. And that, we had some, so suffice to say, some nice testimonials. I will send those to you so you can get a sense of what this has done, the impact it has had in other communities, and what we're looking forward to getting out of this and bringing to you as we're working through it. So we will bring you updates on this over time. So did you have any questions at this point?
I don't have any questions. I just think that it's going to give you all kinds of information that you can use in so many different ways.
We are really looking forward to what this can do, and that it's not only going to be a great assessment, but the information that they have, that we'll be able to leverage it into a great communication tool for us as well. Okay.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, with that, we can move on to item 6, the Library Director Representative Administrative Reports.
The next item to go forward with will be the budget report. You do have those in your printed, and when technology fails, we can resort to that, but I think we're going to go, oh, good, here we go. So as you see in your packets, the revenue, you can see where we're at with our current state. We are at about 92% with our reports through the fiscal year, and the grant funds, the gift funds, and Friends of the Library as are indicated there. As we work down, You can see with the expenditures, we are catching up with the revenue of our grant funds. Most of our grant programs are reimbursement-based, so we do have access to the revenue, but we do, as we get to the end of the year, that's when we are able to get our final drawdowns in and get to our full amounts that are available to us, especially in the grant funds. You can see also where we're at with the regular gift funds and the Friends of the Library funds that are also run through the gift. And this is the very detailed of where we are with the city budget. And between this pie chart, you can see the exact dollar amounts. If you go to the budget report, you see, as it says, we're 92%. A number of the categories, we are either fully expended, very close to fully expended. One thing I do want to point out, in 0710, the telephone, looks like we're 390%, like we're way over. This is one that the city has identified that they will reconcile. They've already identified that this will be handled. They have money in reserve for it. It just won't be reconciled until after the close of the fiscal year. Okay, and then moving on to grant funds. A majority of the programs are fully expended. We do have a couple where we still have small bits, and the mobile makerspace is coming up behind. We had quite a few expenditures wrapping up in this month. Any questions on the grants? Okay, let's go forward then to the gift, our gift fund. And the chart on the bottom does tell the great story of between the regular gift and the Friends of the Library, the important aspects that these play within our operations from month to month, just to make sure that we are able to do a number of the cutting edge things that we are hoping to continue to offer to the community. And then that pretty much wraps up. But what you have, the final parts, are the individual activity reports of expenditures. Are there any other questions that you have on this? Okay, so in the next meeting, we'll be bringing you pretty close to the closing out. If we're not completely closed out, we will be close to that by the next meeting, and starting in on the next fiscal year.
Excellent, thank you.
And then I guess I'll continue on.
Yes, please.
All righty. The report that our director, Sina Lloyd, supplied is in your packet. A couple of things to point out. You probably already, if you haven't heard, one of our employees, the librarian Aubrey White, has resigned. As of last Saturday was his last day with us. He has taken a new position in Maricopa County in smoking hot Phoenix right now. As I understand, they're on their way down there right at the moment. We do have a recruitment open, have already received a number of applications. Sina and Natalie are at the American Library Association. They are going to be making that information available there. Hopefully we'll be able to expand the recruitment with some applications from that pool as well. And the reason that Sina and Natalie, along with Ananda from the school district, are at the meeting is they are going to be doing a presentation on Saturday about our combined program that we have with the school in the digitorium, and this is where the public service announcements, the PSAs, are an integrated part of the school curriculum, and the library is embedded with that program as well. So this is an interesting cooperation that is going to be presented there on the national stage. Did you have any questions on what is in her report?
I do.
Yes.
I just wanted, just to clarify, because I look at bills constantly and I forget which ones they are by their number.
Sure, sure.
I noticed that SB 115 and 143 are both listed as dead. Can you remind me of which pieces of legislation that was?
Yes, on SB 115 was the bill regarding firearms in the legislature, or in libraries, and 143 was the, oh gosh, that just went out of my head. I can tell you in just a moment. The cool one, and I can't help, but SB 549 was one where $500,000 over the biennium was put into the state library's budget, into programs that are to be pass-throughs directly passed out to the benefit of libraries, mostly public libraries, but libraries across the board. It went through very quickly, and our two individuals that, which Sina is one of the NLA government relations chairs, as well with Joan Dallasong. I was there for some of them, was able to testify, but those two really were on the floor during that time period, even up to when it was passed at midnight or just slightly after midnight, Monday, Tuesday, at the end of session. So a joyous time to see some of those things coming through. We expect in real dollars, besides the benefit of the statewide databases, that Carson City will benefit to somewhere between $40,000 and $50,000 over the biennium. So a real benefit to us.
Excellent. All right, did we have any other questions regarding this report? Okay, thank you very much. Moving on to item 7, the other administrative reports, starting with collection development.
Amy Lauder, Collection Development. I'm early today. I usually sit through one. Okay, so the first thing on my report is we finally have book club bags on the shelf. It's very exciting. So I believe we have 6 outright, 6 or 7. I think it might be 7 because Ashley has one out right now, and each has a descriptive card on the front that shows the book and a description, a little bit about it. And they can be checked out for 4 weeks with a regular library card and renewed for an additional 4 weeks. And each kit contains a sign-out sheet, so whoever checks out the bag, they can note who's picking out which book. They're all numbered, so they can make sure to get them back and return everything to the library. So we're very excited to have those available for people to use, and we have a lineup of books that are coming soon after the start of the fiscal year. We can get some more supplies to put these together. And our team is also doing a lot of work this summer supporting the creative learning team with Summer Learning Challenge, formerly Summer Reading, but we still care about the reading part. So one of the things we put together is, this is our second year, I believe, working with Beanstack as a reading tracking online tool for summer reading. And so one of the features that program gives us is we can build reading lists, suggested reading for different age groups, different topics, things like that. And so Rachel and I put together a bunch of titles on our theme, which is Building a Better World. And it puts in it has the images, it has the authors, it has all the information on the book, so parents and kids can find some more good books to read. And another program that we did some work with is part of our summer learning, is yoga, Bookworm Yoga. She's doing, I believe, 8 classes over the course of the summer, somewhere around them, and and as part of that, Ali, who runs Community Yogi, sponsored a collection of related titles for the library, which was, I love when we can work with local individuals and local businesses to kind of bring that partnership together. So we worked with her to identify some titles that would be useful for her programs and useful for the library, and we're able to purchase those and provide them for people to check out. And that display is so popular. I came back from vacation, it was just like everybody had taken them away. I filled it up, they were gone the next day. So apparently that's a popular topic, so that was really great. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, that one more thing, the collection development budget The book budget is spent as of today. Everything's gone. We bought everything. So that's all I have today.
Thank you very much, Amy. Moving on to the Grants Administration report.
Diane Baker for the record. And as I mentioned, the mobile makerspace has pretty much wrapped up. We actually have one more program with juvenile detention next week, but we did wrap up with the end of school with the after-school reports program. As you see, we had an average of 271 student contacts per month, and we had a great range of programs for them and ways for them to interact. We did make sure that we were able to get input from the participants, the children that were part of our program. We not only had them identify what their favorite projects were over the time frame we were with them. What you see me with there, a board, we gave them stickies, and each one of those is a quadrant, asking them just to react to some questions if that was something that they remembered or thought that was a good thing. And it went from basic things that they made cool things, but they learned something new in STEM, science and technology. Another question was if they were interested in a career or a job in science and technology, and then types of projects they would like to do again. So we were able to get them to react to those kind of things, so we can see what kind of impact that had on them, on the individuals. Not surprising, the two most popular sessions in general were the 3D printing and the stop motion animation. Those were definitely two highlights. And at the end, we just had some good old fun time. We were able to bring our dash, and Natalie loaned us her dash, and we were able to set up the little robotic races for them. They had a blast at each location when we were doing that. So we had the great fun wrap up with that. Last week, I mentioned that we had a chance to present to the joint meeting of the Board of Supervisors and the school board, and it was particularly on this topic, on the mobile makerspace. And we had great input back from both groups, not only from I think the mayor commented and a couple people from the school board. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties. And on that one, we did get the video for with Senator Dennis to play. However, it played like at 3/4 time. It was we're all just like, oh mercy, yeah. So, but they did get a sense of what we were able to accomplish, and the importance, and how it's also viewed at our in the state at the legislative level. So we were pleased with how that went through as well. And we were able to mention a few of the other partnerships that are ongoing with NC Labs, featured the Book Bug, our pedal library, and that they'll be able to see that around, and that is actually going to be going out to a number of schools, especially during summer sessions, so they still have access to materials. So those were all received very well. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to our Access Services update.
Kathy Rush, Access Services Manager, for the record. So in your packet is the Access Services Report, which starts with the Chromebooks, which we have made available for public checkout recently. And there are 8 of those for the public to choose from. And the Chromebooks do represent an improvement over the way we were checking out laptops before, where we asked the patron to fill out an application, basically an agreement for each and every time that they wanted to check out the laptop. Now what we ask them to do is fill out our new form just once and agree to the the conditions. And then what we do is we put a note in their record saying that they have agreed, and we do take their picture and put it in their record, so we always know it's that person who's actually checking it out. And then they can just come to the desk and say, we want to check out a Chromebook, and we look up that information and we check it out to them. So it's much simpler for them and quicker and simpler for staff as well. We have doubled the loan period to 2 hours instead of 1 hour. We've also lowered the age requirement to 14 so that teens can check out a Chromebook, particularly when they have schoolwork and things like that, but they don't need any particular reason to check it out. We have retained 2 of our laptops that we were checking out before, because we do have some patrons that just prefer a regular laptop with all those Microsoft products and things that come with it. So the second part of the report covers the addition of a new branch to our library. We have a Petal Library branch, which is separate from Carson City Library branch and separate from our Branch Anywhere. And in it, we place all the materials that the Creative Learning Group wants to take out on the Petal Library, on the book bug. And they are designated at that branch in that collection, so that not only can we gather statistics more easily for the usage, but also it makes it very clear to patrons that those items are in that branch. They are still available for anyone to check out, and the actual physical materials do live in the library on a separate area, in a separate area. But if a patron happens to come across it and says, gee, there's a book on gardening, I want to check that out, they can. There is no restriction just because it's in the Petal branch. In addition, we've marked the materials with a specific Petal branch label so that visually it's very evident that it's in that branch. And materials can move back and forth between the branches very easily. Staff just needs to make those changes and indicate it in the catalog so that it's clear to the patrons and the staff where it is. Are there any questions? No.
Do all those books fit in the book bug?
No, they don't. And that is the thing, that the book bug only fits, a certain number, 30 or whatever. And the book bug goes to different kinds of events. So they might want to take gardening books to the farmer's market, and they might want to take some kids' books to something for the kids. And so by having a certain collection gathered for all the topics that they are thinking they're going to do, they're ready for them to take at any time. And then eventually they may say, well, we want to move these 20 out and bring these 30 in, and we'll keep accommodating that in the branch.
What kind of events are these going to? So I know they are going to the farmer's market. So what are some of the other events?
I'm not entirely sure what all the events are. I know some are at Mills Park. I know some, they talk about some maybe up at the hospital, perhaps Diane or...
They were at the bike race last week.
Yes, I was going to say that, and that's one of the things I was going to see what we have in that under creative learning. But there is a wide range from being at the Epic Race Farmers Market, going to the summer school programs. There's been different events at Mills Park. So we've really been trying to keep it open to where we do have an opportunity. I didn't think that was part in
Is there a
this one.
schedule for it? Like, can you see where it's going to be, or?
There is a schedule, and I don't know that there's a public-facing list of that at the moment. But that to have that public-facing will be important, because we do announce it. It's announced through our Facebook and the like. But I'll double-check and make sure that we get that clarified for you.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Kathy. Now that we have kind of scooped the report, we'll move on to our creative learning report.
And Diane Baker, for the record, just identify that this is in your packet for you. Natalie, again, she's at the ALA annual conference, but do want to bring your attention to the NEA Big Read that the Visitors Bureau has gotten. It's the only library, or excuse me, the only NEA Big Read grant in Nevada this year. The Carson City Library is working in cooperation with them, so you will be seeing more information on this as we get closer to the time frame. It is going to be based on True Grit, and that's the title that the Visitors Bureau had chosen for this. So more will be coming forward on that. And then the Petal Library, you do get a little bit more information on here. Some of the Petal Library has been very popular in the community, and with gaining interest from businesses, individuals, and organizations within the community of wanting to come alongside to partner, to help support. You can see Dog-Eared Books donated 100 books, and the Marley Books also donating. And we do have 3 individuals with Muscle Powered that have been signed up as regular volunteers, and they are ready to be able to take this out to events as well. So very, very popular within the community. Very exciting. Any other questions? Great.
Thank you very much. All right, moving on to item 8, board member announcements and RFIs. Did any board members have anything?
I have 2 things. I will be attending my niece's wedding for the next meeting, so I will not be able to attend. And second, I wonder if what the resolution was on the gentleman that came to the meeting a couple months back about the loss of library items. I was hoping that it would come back to the board, and that I'm not going to be here in July. I would really like it if we can get it posted in August. If you want to do it in July, that's fine, but I'd like to be here to see what the resolution was. So I would like that to be brought back as an agenda item for the director to respond to.
Okay, for the August, but not for July.
I mean, you can come in July, but I won't be here, and it'll be like, I can read it in minutes, but I just assume be here.
We'll refer that to Sina, and she'll work with you, Jeremy?
Yep.
Okay.
Excellent. John, will you just shoot me an email stating that you're not going to be at the next meeting? Sure. Just that way I've got a record of it. Okay.
I'm not going to be at the next meeting either. Does that?
Right.
Are we good with a quorum?
I thought
3,
that
right?
it was on the record right now, since this was an official meeting, you know?
Right. Oh, no, I need a reminder for myself. You guys will be here, right?
Yep.
Maybe.
As far as I know.
Possibly.
Diane's giving the evil eye
Yeah.
at this point.
Oh, no, I just remembered why.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we will cross that bridge when we come to it.
Right.
Barring any other announcements? No? Okay. In that case, we can move on to item 9, public comment. If any members of the public wish to address the library board, now would be the time. Seeing none, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved. So moved.
All right, we are adjourned.